Hello out there. This is Senior Solutions program known as Keeping Up with Senior Solutions. And I'm Joann, your host, and my co-host here is Jim Collins. Hi, Jim.
Hello. Fun to be here again, isn't it, really? And to meet the public and express how important Senior Solutions is in our communities.
Well said, well said. And while we're introducing ourselves, I want to make sure that I ask you to get a paper and pen out, because our guest, Thom Simmons, is going to give you a lot of information about a lot of wonderful benefits and programs that we can take advantage of as we grow older so we can age successfully here in Vermont. So Thom, welcome aboard.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, and as the Nutrition and Wellness Director, you have a lot of information and programs to share with the public, correct?
We have a lot of programs under my umbrella, yes.
Well, and I think before we launch into too much, I better tell people, what is our helpline number? It is 802-885-2669. And you could call that number between 8:30 and 4 o'clock, Monday through Friday, and our operators will take your information and we'll get back to you and see if we can find the solution that's right for your situation. So Thom, welcome aboard.
Thank you very much. And Joann, I want to encourage people, if they call, we receive many calls a day. There are occasions when you'll call and you'll get, you'll go to a voicemail. Leave your information, because our people do get back to you.
Correct.
And we can't help you if you don't leave a callback number.
Good
That's
point.
right.
Very good point.
Yes, because chances are there's somebody else in Vermont with your name.
That's right.
Thank you about that.
Sure.
So you've got some wonderful new programs going on and some revisions and updates.
We have so much going on, and depending on how long we want to take this show, we can talk about our home delivered meals program and our congregate meals program and our wellness programs and our new creative aging programs. We have a lot of things going on right now.
And let's forget Foxy Fund.
And we have always our Foxy Fund, which is the fund we use to help seniors keep their pets at home.
Yes, I can't wait to learn more about that.
Okay, so let's start with meals.
Okay,
Let's start
sounds
with
good.
meals. We have over a dozen what we call meal centers in southeastern Vermont. And each one of them is independent. They secure their own volunteers. They are cooking every morning. They are scheduling their delivery people to get meals out. And people sometimes take Meals on Wheels for granted. But there are so many volunteers, and I've worked with a lot of them in the last year or two, and they put so much time and effort into bringing meals to people who really can't cook on their own. They can't obtain groceries on their own. They can't stand at a stove, or they wouldn't get a nutritional meal. Yeah. And so these meal centers that we help to oversee and coordinate, every meal they're producing has approved nutritional value in it specifically for seniors. And if anyone is looking to receive Meals on Wheels, or they think mom or dad might really benefit from this, all the calls straight through our helpline. We can do the intake over the phone. We don't have to do a home visit or anything like that.
Right.
And we can get you started right away.
Great. And I understand that these meal deliveries are specifically individually organized. Like some people want 2 meals a week, some people want more.
That's right. You can get really whatever you want. Some people get 1 or 2 meals a week. Some require meals 7 days a week, and those will come to you.
Good.
We also have the ability throughout our entire area of medically tailored meals. And this has not always been the case. It is the case now. So if you are someone who needs meals specific to your medical condition, which might be diabetes, it might be kidney function is lower than it should be, so you need a renal safe meal, gluten-free, lactose intolerant, allergen-free. All of these we can provide
That's amazing.
throughout the area. And it's taken us, a good year or so to get to that point, because we're working with all different meal centers. We now can do that.
That sounds even more impressive than some of the wonderful restaurants that will accommodate people.
That's right.
Unbelievable.
And we find, right now, a lot of times hospitals are calling for the clients they've discharged for short-term Meals on Wheels while they're recuperating. And they can give us those special, medical, medically tailored information that we need for that particular person.
They know what ingredients suit that situation.
Right.
Do the recipients of the meals, do they need to do any paperwork themselves?
They needed an intake, but that can all be done via phone. Now, if someone is hard of hearing, we can do the intake with their child or a caregiver. If need be, we can go to them. But if they can do it over the phone, it can be easily done over the phone. Okay.
Boy, I don't think you can make it much easier.
We're trying. The whole purpose is to get nutritional food to people who need it, who otherwise wouldn't have it. I mean, and we, last year, our network delivered 165,000 Meals on Wheels.
You're making me hungry.
Southeastern Vermont alone.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, Southeastern Vermont
Now,
alone.
a quick question. I don't know if you wanted to ask, but I understand that the people who actually deliver the meals are not our volunteers.
They are not. They are volunteers of their individual meal sites. And I really need to give kudos to the individual meal sites who make this happen, like the Bugby Center, the Thompson Center, the Brattleboro Senior Meals, Deerfield Valley Senior Meals. And again, we have a dozen of those meal centers that we work with.
Nice.
They are doing the work on the ground. The other meal option, of course, are congregate meals.
Oh, that's right.
And this is generally for people who are a little more mobile, a little more active. And there are at least 24 congregate meals anywhere in southeastern Vermont in any given month.
I have a question. If you like to go to a congregate meal, would it be okay, say, if I got a couple of girlfriends together and we decided to test out some of these different congregate meal sites?
There's an unlimited number of meal sites you can go to. You can do an entire circuit. In fact, funny you should mention that.
Wow.
We have something called the Mountain Town Circuit. And those are meals that are offered at Neighborhood Connections in Londonderry, the Hub in Weston, the Jamaica Community Church, and Winhall Arts in Winhall.
That's right, they rotate.
And they rotate throughout the month as to who is having the meal when. And Neighborhood Connections has a van that will take you to each one of these. So that's the Mountain Town Circuit.
Write that down, people.
Right.
And enjoy it. Get on board. Have some fun. Check it out.
If you call Neighborhood Connections, they can set it up to bring you via their van to every one of those opportunities. And we have something kind of similar in the Deerfield Valley, because Deerfield Valley Senior Meals has free congregate meals for seniors every Tuesday and Thursday at the Whitingham Municipal Building. That's Tuesdays and Thursdays. But then on other Fridays, there are also meals at the Halifax Community Club and at Marlboro Community Center.
Yeah.
And the mover is very good on getting people to those as well. So there's a meal for you somewhere any day of the week. Any day of the week.
So I just want to remind people, what is our helpline number in case they want to find out more about this?
Well, that number would be 802-885-2669.
Lovely.
And
Thank
everyone
you.
there can tell you what, when we also have the meal schedule on our website.
That's right. www.seniorsolutionsvt.org.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you just hit the meals and wellness, you'll come up with a whole schedule of what's being offered.
Yeah.
We do have a brand new program that I'd like to announce today.
Oh boy.
And that launched on February 1st. And that is our Windsor Diner Meal Ticket program. In the Windsor area, we have no senior centers or facilities that can have a congregate meal for the general public. So we just launched this restaurant ticket program. Any senior can get a ticket for free to have a meal at the Windsor Diner.
And what days are those lunches available?
It's restricted to Wednesday through Friday after 10 in the morning because they have their rush before that.
Yeah.
Right.
And they close at 3. So if you figure between 10 and 3, you can get a free meal.
Yeah.
And these tickets, you can get 3 a week, which would give you Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday,
Yeah.
right?
Really?
And you can get them by calling our helpline, and we'll pop them in the mail to you. We also have a stack at Windsor Village Apartments. The SASH office there has a stack of them to give out. The VA Center in White River Junction has been distributing them through their vet center.
Great.
And we have an outreach worker who goes to the Windsor Food Shelf on certain Thursday nights. She has a stack of them.
Hey, Jim, let's get a ticket.
I'll take you out.
So there's a specialized menu, and it's all nutritionally approved, and your meal is completely free. You do have to pick up the tax. We can't do that, and any gratuity because you want to help out the people who are
Sure,
serving you.
sure.
Other than that, it's free.
Nice. That is so wonderful. I can't
It is,
imagine.
yeah.
And about how many of these tickets have been given out so far?
Hundreds, because one of our partners, Volunteers in Action, out of Windsor, delivered tickets to every single person who receives Meals on Wheels
Oh, wow.
in Windsor. So now they have another option. But it's not restricted to people on Meals on Wheels.
Right.
Any senior 60 or over can get one of these tickets. And if you like it and you want one a week, we can do that too.
That's lovely.
That is super.
No
Really.
kidding. Good job.
And it's a good opportunity for socialization
Well,
if you
that's
go with
the next
someone
thing.
else.
Yes,
You know.
that's right. Have fun. You can meet new people. This is how you connect with people in your community. Go out with your friends, whatever, and no reason to have to sit home alone and eat a old stale sandwich.
Right, and people love the Windsor Diner.
Yeah.
You hear nothing but great stuff about them. So that's great having them as a partner.
And it's going to make it more of a social hub.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think that's just terrific. Yeah, thanks for telling us.
So that's an overview of our meal situation.
Okay.
Then of course we've got a whole series of wellness programs that we
Yeah.
operate. Tai Chi is our biggest one, and we have probably 20 Tai Chi classes going on in any given month throughout.
Where are the
our
classes
area.
held?
They are, oh my gosh, they're held at the Great Room at Springfield Hospital. They're held, we have a new one that just launched at the Broadbrook Community Center in Guilford. We have them at Putney Community Cares in their office in Kimball Hill. There's a long list. And
Right.
once again, they're all on our website, or you could call the helpline and they can let you know when the one nearest to you is. And we're actually going to be training a whole series of new instructors in April.
Oh, very timely.
Yes, it's very timely. So actually, anyone who has been involved in Tai Chi who'd like to become an instructor, this is the opportunity. We pay for the training 100%.
Wow.
In return for you offering some classes.
Right.
And just in case some of your viewers, don't know what Tai Chi is, I don't really call it exercise. It's not something you're going to get all sweaty doing. And it's not yoga. It's movement.
It's gentle, isn't it?
Gentle movement to help you regain your sense of balance, and it prevents falls. And it's been
good.
scientifically shown to prevent falls, because as we get older, and all of our sensory systems begin to degrade, whether it's our eyes, our ears, our gross motor movements, our fine motor movements. As some of that degrades, we begin to lose our sense of where we are in time and place, which is why you walk through the doorway and you go, ow, I just banged my elbow on the door
Right,
jamb.
that's
Were
right.
you
Yeah,
watching?
Yeah, I was watching it this morning doing it. Tai Chi, because it's very specific movements in very specific ways, you're very conscious of where your body parts are, helps you retain that sense of where you are, and it prevents falls. So that's a very important program.
I think so too.
Last-
Falls prevention is huge.
Yes, Yes.
Let me ask a question.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I
No,
have so much
no.
to talk about.
I know, and I'm excited to hear it. Don't you do exercises, Jim?
I do exercises. I do yoga with my wife about 20 minutes a day. Who's the doctor that we had on?
Dr. Tortolani.
And talked about falls are
Yes.
significant issues for
Yes.
seniors. I lay on the floor every day and push myself up every day
practice.
so that I'm prepared for that fall, because I've had them.
Okay.
So thank you for that testimonial.
So a second program, a wellness program that we launched last year for the first time is called Walk with Ease. It's an arthritis foundation program. And, you know, there are a lot of walking groups throughout Vermont. We're a very outdoors-oriented state. But this program is not meant for the power walker who's walking miles every day. This is meant for someone who has arthritis or a hip replacement or a knee replacement or has trouble walking. In fact, we actually launched one of our first classes at an assisted living facility here in Brattleboro. We had 18 people enrolled. More than half of them used canes or walkers. This is a slow program. It starts with some very gentle, once again, gentle stretching and movements. And it goes on a very specific track. And you keep track of how long you've walked, either in time or in distance, or in how you feel afterwards. It was so successful, we're going to be doing it again as soon as the weather gets
once the ice
gets
melts.
nicer.
Wow.
But we had 6 of these throughout when we first launched.
That's good.
And I expect that we're going to have many, many more this upcoming spring.
I agree. I think it'll grow exponentially.
It will. In fact, I have to mention, we actually have one going on right now, indoors.
Okay.
In Londonderry, there is a tennis center.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me, I'm sorry I forget the specific names, but it's an enclosed indoor tennis court center in Londonderry. And on Monday mornings, they allow the Walk with Ease group to do laps around the tennis courts. It works perfect. So even in the winter, it can be done.
Right.
Terrific.
So that's our wellness program, and we have one more that just launched, and this is a little different because it's not really movement. This is creative aging.
Yes.
And this is a special program that we have in conjunction with Main Street Arts in Saxton's River. With this program, seniors are able to take art courses for free.
So great.
And these are not, this is not just, come and color in a book. These are professional artists who have been through a certification process for creative aging, meaning working with seniors. The very first class, which launched in February, they were carving in charcoal and pouring melted silver into what they carved to create lockets. I mean, this was some pretty fancy
jewelry
stuff.
making.
Yeah.
Yes. So the way it works at Main Street Arts is, in addition to the classes, and some run in February, some are in March, some are in April, some are in May, so you can always find a class and join in. It's never too late to call Main Street Arts and register for one of these classes. We decided to augment the classes with a community lunch. So, in Saxton's River, you now can take a morning art class and stay for lunch. Or you can take an afternoon art class and come early for lunch. Or take both and stay for lunch. Or you can be from the community and not take art classes at all, but stop in for the lunch.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful.
The last couple of weeks, we've had about 20 people at each of the lunches. And the only downside, it's been catered by Smoke and Bowls, by the way, and they do a fantastic job. I went to the first one and had curried butternut soup and broccoli cheddar soup. And they
Were
had
you
a
the
whole,
taste tester?
Oh, yes. It was wonderful. The only downside is that it has been so positive, and there is such a vibe going on there, and everyone is that it's been hard to get the second class started in the afternoon. But it's like, okay, guys, we gotta get to work here.
Sure.
That's too cute. That's wonderful. And I understand that I think in most of these classes, if not all, the materials are provided.
Materials are provided. Everything is there. Materials are
easy.
provided. And at the end of this semester, the end of the spring, we're going to have an art show of the different artwork that
In
the seniors
June?
have created. Yes.
Wow,
And I think it's the first weekend in June,
I
around
know
June
it's in
4th.
June sometime. Yeah, that would be fun for everybody. Should go
It's
and
gonna be
see,
fantastic.
all the work that's been done artistically, and make you feel bad if you didn't participate.
Right. And I have to say, at this point, people often think of us as a government agency, and we're not.
We're a 501c3.
Yes, we are a nonprofit 501c3. And while there are certain federal and state grants that we're able to pass through, like for our Meals on Wheels operations, much of what we do, we have to write grants or seek funding or donations for.
And who would know better than you,
And
Mr. Grants?
Yeah, I do a lot of grant writing. And we have had an explosion in partners who have enabled us to do all of the things I've just talked about. The Windsor ticket program, some of our congregate meals, the Mountain Town Circuit, Creative Aging, Vermont Community Foundation, the National Association of Senior and Aging Service Providers, the Banfield Foundation, which is helping us with our Foxy Fund, the Food Bank, the Vermont Agency on Agriculture. We've really received a lot of grants from a lot of different sources, and that's what makes all of these work.
Well, it also takes somebody who has the passion to make it happen.
The passion I have.
And you do it.
We can tell.
Money I don't, but passion I have. So if I can,
Hey, it's a winning combination.
if I can work with other community partners
Yeah.
to do community activities, that's exactly how these things happen.
Well, didn't you get for 2 years running also a grant from the Foxy Fund people?
Meals on Wheels America and PetSmart Charities
Yes, PetSmart. There you go.
have funded our Foxy Fund, which is a program that has exploded in the last 2 years. At the current time, the Foxy Fund helps seniors keep their pets. We know that Vermont's got the highest proportion of seniors of any state in the United States. B, we have the highest pet ownership rate of any state
77%.
in the United States. So you've got a lot of seniors with a lot of pets. A lot of them are low income.
Yeah.
And veterinary care is expensive, and pet food is expensive. Meals on Wheels America did a commissioned a study that showed that almost up to a third of seniors who received Meals on Wheels, which might be their only meal of the day, was sharing it with their pets.
Yeah.
So we launched the Foxy Fund.
Breaks your heart.
Wow, that-
Yeah.
It really
wow.
breaks your heart.
So we launched the Foxy Fund to help seniors keep their pets. At the current time, we have 135 pets receiving food every month who are members of 100 human households throughout our area. And
That's a lot.
and once again, our partners in the meal centers have been fantastic because we get the food, we package it up and label it, we bring it to the meal centers, and the Meals on Wheels drivers are delivering the pet food along with the people food.
You got to hand it to those drivers.
Yes, so as a system, it works.
And the neat thing is, just listening here, being in education for a zillion years, I know I don't look it, but your programs are really data-driven. They're just not out of the air.
No, they all adapt, and that's one of the reasons why a lot of agencies are willing to work with us in terms of grant and partnering, because we're not just saying, oh, we have a real need here,
Yeah.
help us.
Yeah.
We're saying, here's the specifics, here are the numbers.
Right.
So, and the other thing the Foxy Fund has done is we are now helping people defray their veterinary bills because we've received more and more grants from PetSmart, from Banfield, from private individuals. So we can help defray veterinary expenses up to about $250 per pet per year. We're going a little higher. We have worked with specific veterinarians who have given discounts to seniors. They are...
Remember the Christmas pictures?
Rockingham Veterinary Clinic, fantastic partner of ours. They had a fundraiser for us where people came and brought their pets and had pictures with Santa at Christmas time and then made a donation. And all those funds came to us.
Wonderful, wonderful.
So,
And
and
I
that's
understand.
been fun.
Wasn't that great? And I understand that there are other councils on aging around the state who are interested in picking up this kind of a program.
I know the Central Vermont Council on Aging. Actually, I recently met with their wellness coordinator because they would like to replicate
Yeah.
what we do here in southeastern Vermont. And
So-
in fact, I have to tell you, after this taping, I'm
Yeah.
racing home because I'm actually speaking at a national webinar for Meals on Wheels America on pet programs.
There you go. There you go. So Senior Solutions, through your efforts, is really becoming a trendsetter.
Absolutely. Why shouldn't we be?
That's right. That's right. Because, we've got the programs, we have the people, we have the desire to fill the need.
So, since you're talking trend setting,
Yes.
here's a topic I wasn't going to talk about
Oh,
today,
come
but
on,
I'm going
bring
to
it
do
on.
it anyway
Let's go for it.
because we
Yeah.
are on the cutting edge of this. In the 1980s, we saw the beginning of the AIDS crisis.
Okay. Oh, okay, go ahead.
All right?
Yep.
And someone who was 20 in the 1980s is now in their 60s.
Mm-hmm.
And that means we have an entire generation of what are called long-term survivors. People who contracted HIV when they were young, who have survived through the medical advances, and who have been living with this for decades.
Yeah.
It is a brand new phenomenon for the senior community. You talk about data driven. 55% of the people in the United States with HIV are seniors.
No, I believe it. I
And
believe it.
very few places are kind of equipped to deal with that sudden demographic shift. Because many AIDS service agencies and many agencies who would deal with this issue are focused on prevention and young people.
Sure, sure.
And senior centers have not really had to deal with this issue for, until now.
Yeah.
So we, again, working with one of our partners, Vermont Community Foundation, we are designing a program, and it's going to be also through Main Street Arts, where long-term survivors are going to create artwork that express their feelings, their life journey, the emotions they have gone through to get to where they are now. We're working with a very specific instructor who deals with self-expression, and they are going to also have their own show in June,
Okay.
probably in Bellows Falls.
Great, great.
So.
No, that's exciting. And, it does reflect a shift in society where have not been a lot of concentrations in medical school about geriatric health issues. And this is a very specified geriatric health issue that is a little bit behind, and it's about time it's addressed. And that's wonderful.
It's a very niche issue.
Yes.
And it's hard to find. It is extremely hard for a senior to find medical care in Vermont
Yeah,
with that issue.
sure,
So.
sure. I bet it is, really.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to come to the art exhibit.
I hope so.
Yeah, absolutely. And I encourage the rest of you to come as well. That's great. That's great. Have we covered everything?
Probably.
I don't know. We'll never cover everything.
No, there's always something else going
Something
on.
will pop up, but it's good to know that Senior Solutions, with your leadership in the nutrition and wellness area, is on the ball and is willing to address the issues as they come up, and work so hard not only to address the issues, but to have fun while you're doing it.
Absolutely.
As you get older, you're still the same person inside. You still want to have fun. You still want to have friends. And with good nutrition, exercise programs, there's no reason why you can't enjoy growing older here in Vermont.
Absolutely.
And I think
And staying healthy
Yes.
and eating well and caring for your pet, who might be your closest companion.
Yep. And they provide what? Unconditional love.
Unconditional love.
Yep.
And still engaging in creative activities, and still growing, and fighting the tendency to just sit home in the chair and not do anything and rust.
Right. And that's
But
what happens.
it's really common sense solutions. Senior solutions as common sense solutions.
Right.
So please, everybody out there, if you have any questions or you have a friend or relative who is growing older and maybe has some kind of mobility issues or is feeling lonely or whatever the issue is or has questions about their health and insurance, who are you going to call? You're going to call
Senior Solutions.
at
What's that number?
802-885-2669. And we are not judgmental. We love to hear from people. We cannot get in a car and drive down your driveway and knock on your door and say, do you need help? Would be nice if we could, but we can't. We have to wait for you or someone to refer you to us. So we encourage everybody out there, consider us your new best friends and give our helpline a call.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Tom. This has been so informative.
Happy to be here.
Oh, it's great. And Jim, thank you for being here and helping to flesh out some of these questions.
Yeah, Tom was talking about the art and so forth. This weekend, all right, our granddaughters were, well, we have 5, by the way. Not all were there. But one of them is a second grader, very smart girl, loves art. She said, Grandpa, can you color with me? That was one of the best experiences. We colored for an hour. And I said, I never realized how therapeutic that was.
And did you stay in the lines?
Yes, I did, because if I didn't, she'd let me know.
See, and that is a wonderful intergenerational thing to do. You can have fun with the grandkids. You can have fun with your neighborhood teenagers. Just because they're different ages. Boy, they know a lot.
Oh, boy.
And we can share a lot with them. It's wonderful synergy. And everybody out there, please keep moving, eat well, and give us a call if you need help. Thank you, everybody. Tom, thank you.
Yeah,
Jim,
Tom,
thank you.
Nice job.
Thank you very much.
Very good. Get in here,
Thank
guy. All right. Bye, everybody. And we'll see you next time on Keeping Up with Senior Solutions.
Bye now.